computer. Yes. All right, we are recording. All right, cool. So you notice our warm-up will be the same for our runs, for our strength training, pretty much anything we do together. We will do the same start of the workout, and then we will kind of move from there. So we are always, much to Bob's dismay, going to start with jumping jacks. So we've got 30 seconds, ready and go. You never have to jump. You can also step. This is like a bad angle. Let's see if I can. There we go. Now I have no head, but at least you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so it can be a step, but you really just want to get the hips moving, get the shoulders moving, everything's getting involved. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and squat. Feet about hips distance apart, and just sit your butt back. Your toes should be able to lift off the ground here. So especially if you're working out barefoot, as you sit back, just kind of play with that a little bit. Lift the toes up, press them down, and then stand up. If you've been sitting all day and your hips are really tight, you might want to take the heels in, toes out. It's going to allow you to sink your butt down a little bit lower. And good mornings. A little bit of a bend in the knees, hands by the ears, hinge forward. We'll do this from the side. The back stays flat. So you're pushing your butt back, keeping your back flat. Your chest kind of pushes out a little bit. Good. 10 more seconds. This should just feel like a really good stretch. The reason we don't let the arms hang down, because then the chest usually falls as well. And you want to keep it lifted to get that stretch in the hamstring. And torso rotation. Good. Bring your hands to the center here. And twist. Good. So those first 3 will always be the same, whether we're running, whether we're strength training, and then everything else kind of switches up depending on what we're doing and what we need to target. So this is warming up through the obliques. Claire, I'm just going to mute you for a second. So just know you're all muted because it's giving weird echoey feedback. All right, and hinge forward, arms come out in front. Swimmers, we've got some push-ups in the workout today. So just getting the shoulders warm. And then reverse it. Good, back to jumping jacks. One more time through. So jump or step or fix your ponytail, whatever you need right now. Good. Always an option to step. And then when you're ready, I care less about getting your heart rate up because you guys are already doing that several times a week, and squats. What I really care about with the jumping jacks is getting the movement through the shoulders and the hips. So it's about the extension more than it is about the speed. Same thing with the squats. I care more about you getting your thighs parallel to the ground, really warming up. Sit the butt back. Good. Almost there. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and good mornings. Little bit of a bend in the knees, hands by the ears, really pull the elbows back, press your chest forward, and then hinge. If you are super bendy, I don't really think anyone in our running group is super bendy. Maybe Janet, because she does yoga more than I do. So if you're super bendy, you may need to straighten the legs in order to feel this in your hamstrings. But otherwise, a little bit of a bend will probably feel better on your lower back. And twist. Arms come to the center. I'm going to tilt my camera down. You're going to let your heel come off the ground so that you're twisting through the whole side of your body, and then pivot the other way. So really twist far enough so that you feel this down the obliques, down the side of your glute. Good. 3, 2, and swimmers. Hinge forward, arms out in front, and swimmers. Good. This is my legal disclaimer. I don't actually think this motion and switch will keep you alive in a swimming pool, but for our purposes, that's what it reminds me of. Good. You've got about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Grab a quick sip of water. I'll explain the workout. So we have 6 exercises. It goes 10, 15, 20, 10, 15, 20. That's the order of the reps. We're going to go through all 6 exercises, take a 1-minute break, and then we'll do that probably 3 times tonight. We'll see how fast we get through one section. The PDF, if you have that pulled up, you can follow along. Otherwise, I'm going to prompt you guys. If you're doing this on your own after the fact, you can follow along with us in the video, or you might stop the video now, go to that PDF and do it on your own. That's totally up to you. For those of us that are all together right here, we'll do push-ups. So you'll do your 10. Laptop has a bad leg. Okay, Claire's going to try to get on her phone. So you'll do your 10 push-ups, and then if you're done first, you get a little mini break while everybody else finishes their 10. So we'll just wait to move on to the next exercise to do them together. So I'll go through all of them and then I'll remind you each time. We've got 10 push-ups. Then we've got 15 jump squats or squat to calf raises, 20 crunches, then 10 reverse lunges, except it's really 20 because it's 10 on each leg. 15 mountain climbers, which is really 30 because it's each side counts as 1, and then 20 leg lifts. Then we'll take a 1-minute break. We'll see how long that takes, and we'll kind of time how many times we do it tonight based on that. Okay. So come on down to the ground. Push-ups are going to be first, and I'm going to unmute you guys after the first round. So I'll just give all my like cues for form and all that kind of stuff in the first round, and then I'll unmute you so that we can talk to each other for the next couple rounds as we start to get really tired of doing this. So come on down. Push-ups are first. Hands are going to be, I'm going to go sideways. Hands are going to be right underneath the shoulders, and then the legs are going to come back. You're going to start in a high plank form. Then if you want to, I see you, Claire, I'm letting you in. All right, let's see if this works better. Okay. So arms are right underneath the shoulders. Legs go out long. Really push back your heels so you feel this stretch through your calves. Then you can drop to your knees if you want to, but you're not in a tabletop, no butt in the air. You're in a nice straight line. All right, we've got 10 push-ups. Let your elbows come out to the side into about a 45-degree angle. Do your 10, and then you can just come to a seated position so I know you're done. Or you can stand back up because we are doing a standing exercise next. So 10 push-ups, elbows come out, nose comes down towards the ground. You can drop to your knees whenever you need to. Good, and then I'll know you're done when you come back up to standing. Perfect. All right, we've got 15 squat jumps or squat to calf raise. So I'll show you both. You can alternate back and forth from one to the other. Either way, feet are going to be about hips distance apart. As you squat down, arms come back behind you, and then you can jump, or you can squat and then lift up onto your toes in your calf raise. So you've got 15 total. Pick your poison. Ready, set, go. You could do 5 jumps and then maybe 5 toes and then back to the jumps if you feel ready. It's totally up to you how you break this up. But as you sit back, your chest is going to come a little bit further forward than it did during the warm-up, just to give you that momentum to spring up. Once you're done your 15 of these, you can come back to the ground. We're on the ground for crunches next. So that will be my signal that you are finished. Come on back down. Good. Take your time. There is no rush. Good reps are better than sloppy reps. So finish your 15. Good. All right. Crunches are next. Lots of different ways to do these depending on how tight your neck and shoulders are. But you're going to start on the ground with your heels in close to your butt. Knees are about hips distance apart. Now, I like my hands together. I like prayer crunches because it gives me something to focus on, right? My hands are just kind of pulling me up. Some people like arms across their chest. That's fine, but what you don't want to happen is you don't want to have your chin on your chest. So a lot of times when you cross your arms, it encourages you to look down at your belly button. You don't want that. You want your neck to be nice and neutral. So the other thing you can do is clasp your hands behind your head, but make sure you're not, again, pulling the neck forward. So you never want your chin to touch your chest in crunches. So play with this. You've got 20, so maybe do 5 each way, see what feels good. But we've got 20 crunches. Ready, set, and go. You're coming up just high enough so you feel your lower abs engage. Shoulders are coming off the ground, but you don't have to come all the way up. Typically what happens when your mid back comes off the ground, you're using more momentum than you actually are abdominal strength. So it's a small movement. Just get the shoulders and upper back up and then come back down. Good. We've got 20 here, and then you're going to come back up to standing for the next exercise. So once you hit your 20, grab that quick sip of water if you need it and come back up. I guess I need to be higher. I don't know why we can't see my head and my feet at the same time. It's really annoying. Anyway, all right, reverse lunges are next. So you don't really need to see my head for these anyway. I am never going to advocate for a forward lunge unless you're at the gym with like lots of mirrors, right? It is too easy to screw up a forward lunge. So when you see lunges in your Final Surge calendar or anything like that, it's always going to be referring to either a lateral lunge or a reverse lunge. So feet are going to start together. You're going to step back. Zoom is great for this when you're on live because you can use the camera or bring your phone up into like you're recording a video to look at yourself. But you want to step back wide enough that when you lunge down, both legs are at a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to push back up to center. We're going to do all 10 on one leg, then all 10 on the other, so that you can really get that distance, kind of get in a groove. Option here to add balance, so you can step back, drive that knee forward, go right back into your reverse lunge. Chest stays lifted. You've got 10 on each leg. Go for it at your own pace. If it starts to burn too much, you might go 5 on one leg, then switch, and then 5 on the other leg. You can do these regular lunges or drive the knee up, hold it for a second, and then swing the leg through. Good. 10 on one leg, and then you're just going to kind of shake that out for a second and get reset on the other side. When you switch legs, really pay attention. That first rep, look down. You should be able to see your toes. Your knee shouldn't be blocking them. Use the camera. Oh, now I'm frozen. I hope you guys can still hear me. Keep going. Oh, there we go. I was like, I'm just going to move around till I start moving again. Good. We are. Man, I must have done this on purpose. You are coming to it's like perfect for Zoom. Your next exercise is on the ground. So I'll know that you're done with your reps when you come down to the ground. Sometimes I surprise myself with how smart I am, guys. All right, mountain climbers are next. Same starting position as your push-ups, except you're going to bring your feet a little bit wider. So hands are right underneath the shoulders. Legs are out long. I like a little width, I don't know, space in between my feet. It just helps me stay a little more balanced. And then I'm going to do this straight on, and then I'll do it sideways because I don't know what angle is going to be better. For your mountain climbers, you're just driving your knee straight into the center. It's going to be 30 total, 1 rep on, so it's the counting goes 1, 1, 2, 2. So depending on how you count, either 15 or 30, but you've got to do both sides to equal 1. You can take these slow or you can take them at tempo. If you want to get them over with, you go faster. So it can look like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or it can look like this. 1, 2, 3. You get the idea. All right. 15 total, 15 on each side. Go for it. Get the hands set underneath the shoulders first. And go. Good. The goal is that the hips are moving as little as possible. So really keeping the hips steady, keeping the shoulders lined up with the wrists. That's the most important. And once you're done, you can just come to a seated position because we're going to lay down for this next one. Good. You will probably feel mountain climbers more in your shoulders than anywhere else, especially as you're doing them. It won't be until like the next day that you feel them in your abs. So just know that like the shoulders are where you should primarily feel it. All right, last one is leg lifts. So you're going to come all the way down onto your back. Arms can be out to the side. I personally like them under my butt or my low back, but it's really up to you. Legs start up in the air, feet are flexed. We're going to lower down with control, nice and slow, and then lift up with some speed. So it's slow on the way down, then kind of let your legs spring up. Slow on the way down, let your legs spring up. If you have any back issues, you can go one leg at a time, or you can bend the legs at 90 degrees and do heel taps. So try whatever variation of those you want to. You've got 20 total, so experiment with them. See if you can keep the legs glued together if they're straight. You're going to stop when you're a couple inches from the ground and then come back up. So you're never letting your heels touch the ground if you've got the legs together. If you're doing the heel touch variation, then you obviously are letting your heels touch the ground. After this, you've got a 1-minute break. So don't worry about how long it takes. Just get your 20 reps done and then come on up to standing with your water bottle so I know that you're done. Good. While you guys finish up, I'm going to go grab my water bottle because I left it in the other room. Ugh. I put too much ice in this. I really like 3 or 4 ice cubes and then the rest water. But the Hydro Flask keeps it too cold, but I'm lazy and I have to leave the house at like 5:15 tomorrow morning. So I fill it up tonight. That way tomorrow morning I can just go. So I put a lot of ice in it and now my teeth hurt. Welcome to my TED Talk. All right. 1 minute starts now. So if you are following along after the fact, not live, you can totally stop the video now. Go back to the beginning and watch it again. You can keep going, but I am going to unmute us so that we can chit chat with each other. So if that's going to annoy you and you're watching it later, by all means, just stop the video now and do the second and third round yourself, or go ahead and rewind. But yeah, feel free to unmute yourselves, guys, if you want to. And we can do this a little more informal. I won't give as many cues since I gave them all the first time through. So I'll correct stuff if I see it, but I won't work as hard to tell you about your form. All right, we just got to do that like 2 more times and then we'll cool down. No big deal. It's 7:25. We might only do it 1 more time. That actually took longer than I thought. So we'll see how long it takes without me talking in between, and then we'll decide if we're doing 2 or 3. All right, push-ups are first. Come on down. Hands underneath the shoulders. You've got 10 push-ups, and we're going to flow 2 together at a time. So we've got 10 push-ups into 15 jump squats. So as soon as you finish your push-ups, you can come on up and do your jump squats. So start in that high plank and go. Good. You've got 10. I'm coming to my knees. I am sore from Pilates yesterday. Good. As soon as you finish your 10, come up to your feet. 15 jump squats or squat to calf raises. Take those little mini breaks when you need them. Good. And then when you're done with your squats, down to the ground. We'll wait for everybody to catch up. So this will be your little mini break.
How many squat things?
15. See if you can drop your butt a little bit more, Ash. Yeah. Claire, what shorts are those?
They're honestly from Old Navy.
Really? Okay, I'm on the hunt for like the perfect short.
I really like theirs. I know it's probably not,
No, I just bought 2 pairs of Lululemon and I cannot afford to do my whole running wardrobe in those. So
that's exactly why I go to Old Navy.
yeah,
And their shorts don't fall down, which is great.
that is nice. All right, we've got 20 crunches, and then you're gonna stand up and start your 10 reverse lunges. Remember, it's 10 on each leg. So 20 crunches first. Come on down. Hands can be together. They can be behind your head, whatever feels comfortable. And just let the upper body come off the ground. Good. Eye stay on the ceiling. That's going to help you keep the neck straight. Good. Once you hit your 20 reps, come on up. 10 lunges, but it's 10 on each leg, so it's really 20 total. Try to do all 10 on one side first. It's just going to burn out that leg a little bit more. Oh, my balance is real crap today. Good. When you're done with your lunges, you're coming down to the ground. But take your time. Lunges are especially the one not to rush. Because for running, they're probably the best one in this sequence for you, right? You want to do exercises where you're loading the weight on one leg. Because essentially the whole time you're running, all you're doing is loading weight on one leg. So single leg squats, lunges, all that kind of stuff are really, really good for us. All right, I've stalled so you can have a sip of water. If you took advantage of that, congratulations. 15 mountain climbers. So coming back to the high plank position, if you want to try something different this time, you can do a twisting mountain climber. So you're gonna bring your knee across your body to the opposite elbow. It'll slow you down a little bit. You can't go quite as fast. Remember, each side is a half. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2. You've got 15 total. And go. Once you finish your 15, you can lay down onto your back and go right into your 20 leg lifts. This is another one that's going to take some time. It's not quick, right? Because you're lowering down with control. You're stopping the heel before they touch the ground, and then you're coming back up. So don't worry if these take a little bit of time to do them correctly. If you're watching this later, just a reminder of your variations. You can do one leg at a time with straight legs, or one leg at a time with bent legs, keeping the legs at 90 degrees, tapping the heel down. Good, and then come on up, grab a sip of water. Once you're done your 20, don't rush through them. We'll take a quick poll. How many of you on live are coming at 6 a.m.? 1, 2, okay. So then I'm gonna let you guys vote. Third round or skip to the stretching, because I want to be cognizant of the fact that you also have to do another workout in like 11 hours.
Stretch.
Okay, totally fine. We are doing timed stretches, so we're going to be here for about 5 minutes or so. So for those of you that are following along later, you can pause right now, do a third round on your own, and then come back to the video and do the stretching with us so that you don't have to time yourself. But otherwise, if you only want to do 2 rounds with us, come on down to the ground. We're going to start with a reclining figure 4 twist. So to set this up, you're going to come back like you're doing crunches. And then I'm going to do, it doesn't really matter which side you do first, but I'm going to cross my left ankle at my right knee. My arms come out into a T. And then I'm going to drop my right hip and my left foot down to the ground. So I'm in a twisting my body. I'm going to let my head look out over my left arm. So I'm looking away from my legs. I have a very cute view because I'm looking at the dogs when I do this. And we're going to stay here for 45 seconds. Well, less than that now because I've been chit-chatting. But so another 30 seconds here. Things you want to pay attention to is your knee that's in the air. You really want to keep it up in the air. Don't let it kind of fall in towards your hip because you want to be stretching the IT band on the outside of that leg as you let the leg that's on the ground just kind of relax into the ground. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to center. Lift everything up first. Good. Then uncross. You never want to kind of untwist yourself while you're in the twist because you have a risk of injuring your low back that way. So cross the right ankle this time at the left knee and then drop the left hip and the right foot down. Look over your right arm. One side is probably going to feel a lot tighter than the other. This is a great example of what I don't want to happen. There is a lot of space in between my hips and the ground. In an ideal situation, my hips would be able to stay closer to the ground, but that is just not going to be the case for me today. So if you have a pillow or a yoga block nearby, you could always put something underneath to support you. There's nothing wrong with this space. It's just if you have any back issues, it might put a little bit more pressure on your back than you want. All right, 3, 2, and come back up to center. Good. Uncross the leg. Let me see what's next. Ooh, my favorite. All right, we're coming. Oh, sorry, Brooks. I'm sorry, buddy. I just kicked the dog. I'm sorry.
Don't you hurt my baby.
Yeah, show everybody you're not hurt. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, but then he lost his bone because I called him over and then Verona swooped in. Whoops. All right. Anyway, we're coming into pigeon pose next. I'm going to turn sideways. My favorite way, because my hips are super duper tight to get into pigeon, is by starting in a downward facing dog. So if you're in a tabletop position, you're going to curl your toes under, lift your hips up. Then from here, I'll lift up my right foot, bring it through so that my right knee is towards my right hand, my right foot is towards my left hand. And if it doesn't go very far, you can also just take your hand and kind of plunk it up there. You can stay here, or if you've got the flexibility, you can come down to your forearms. Timer is started. I'm going to turn sideways and show you this. So if you're not familiar with pigeon pose, you can stay up and look for a second. This is another one where a block or a blanket to put in between your hip and the ground could be beneficial if you're not super close to the ground. Some people can bend completely down. You might be able to extend your arms. I am not one of those people. I have to stay on my elbows. I also really like to stack my fists. So I make kind of like a little tower of fists to put my forehead on to rest on. So just kind of play with your arms, see what feels good. We've got about 15 more seconds on this side. You can also come back up if being down low is too much. Good. Start to lift back up onto your hands. And then I'm going to go back into the downward facing dog. So I'm going to curl my left toes under, lift my hips up, and step my right foot back. You could come to a tabletop. You could do this however you want. Then bring your left leg forward, left knee to left hand, left foot to right hand. One side is probably a lot tighter than the other. That is very normal. So if you can't come down, like I can come down to my elbows. It's not comfortable. So I'm going to come back up to my hands. I'm a lot tighter on this side. I don't need to come down as low to get the stretch. Pain, or what we sometimes call pain, but really is just the feeling of stretching, is okay. What you don't want to feel is any sharpness. If there's like a sudden kind of twinge or sharp pain, that's not okay. But if you're just aware that you have muscles, that's okay. That means you probably need to do this more often. Good. 5 more seconds here. And rest. You can come out of this however you want. I'll show you the plop method. So the side of the knee that's forward, you can just kind of plop back. And then you're in this like 90-90 with your legs. We're coming into a child's pose next. So I really like toes together, knees apart. But you can see what feels good for you. Some people like to have their knees and toes together, but I really like big toes together, knees apart, and then just start with your fingertips in between your knees and walk them forward. The goal here is that your arms are extended in front of you while your hips push back towards your feet. If there's somebody else in your house, it feels really good. You can ask them to just push down your hips towards your feet so you get a deeper stretch. You can let your forehead and the tip of your nose rest onto the ground, but keep the arms active here. Keep walking them forward so that you increase the stretch on the spine. I'm going to stop talking. We're going to be here for another 20 seconds. So just keep breathing in and out through your nose. Good. And then start to walk your hands back towards your knees. So you come up into this like kneeling position. This one's not on the PDF, but we're going to do it anyway because we're right here. So then you're going to bring your hands behind you and just walk your hands back. Feel this through the front of your quads. Maybe you need to come down to your elbows to feel this. I can't even like get my body to do that right now. You could also bring your feet out to the side so that your feet are out to the sides of your glutes. But really just feel this through the front of your quads. And then come on up. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you guys have any questions, stop.